Hey guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. I've seen a lot of discussion on the Facebook group about stocking densities, so today I thought I'd give my opinion on the topic. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can keep updated with our future uploads. You may have noticed the background is slightly different to normal. I'm just trying out this new banner just to see how it looks. This is a little mock-up of what the potential banner could look like. So let me know what you think. Maybe it's a bit tacky, maybe it's not. Also, hit that link in the description for the Facebook group. The group is growing really fast now and we're about 4,000 members, which is really good. This week we're having another Back to Basics series on stocking densities. We've still got loads of the Back to Basics series to do, so I thought I'd get through one more episode now. So, what makes your tank overstocked? Is it your number of fish, your size of fish, your size of your aquarium, or your filtration, or your water change routine? What is the determining, is that word? Yes. What is the determining factor that makes your tank overstocked or understocked? Stocking densities isn't just based on the number of fish in your aquarium. What if your fish are 6 or 7 inches or just 1 inch? The rules are too generalised and too old-fashioned. So today I'm just going to go over my opinion of stocking densities. If you think that I'm right or wrong or want to express your views as well, just drop a little comment down in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer it. So the general rule of thumb we see battered around all the Facebook groups and the forums is that your tank should be 100 litres for the first goldfish and then 40 litres for every additional goldfish. This rule of thumb is quite good and it's helpful for beginners to give you a rough idea of the size of your tank, but it's too generalistic and it depends on the type of fish or the size of your fish. So I think we need to look into that a bit more, and that's what I'm planning to do today. Let's take an example. If you had 10 people in a small room that had no ventilation, it was dirty, it wasn't being cleaned, and they were just crammed in there with nothing to do, rubbish food, they wouldn't be happy and you'd say the room could be overstocked. However, if the room was really well ventilated, the people getting fed constantly, really good food, there was constant cleaning of the room and they were just all having a good time, then the room wouldn't be overstocked because the people are happy, just the same as the fish should be happy in your aquarium. If they're happy, they've got good water quality, then is your tank really overstocked? The dimensions play a large factor in your aquarium and your stocking densities. You can have a really tall tank with a large volume, or you could have a tank half the size that's much more shallow but much longer and wider, which gives the goldfish much more space to roam around. For instance, when you look at breeders' ponds, they have really shallow water, which is good for the goldfish, and they're large and have a really high capacity. Most people would say these fish are in an overstocked population, but the breeders are doing regular water changes, they're feeding them lots and lots, and the fish are growing well and healthily, and they're growing much faster than most of the hobbyists in the UK or around the world could achieve. Filtration is a large part in stocking densities. If you've got some large canister filters with some good biomedia like Biohome, and you've also got carbon that's taking out the pheromones from the water which can stunt the fish's growth, then this means you can put much more fish in, or a larger number of fish into your aquarium. If you've got high levels of circulation and good flow rate and turnover, this also helps, as well as aeration, because remember the BOD, which is the biological oxygen demand, that is putting pressure on your tank. So you need to have a good aeration and good oxygen levels, because this helps with everything, such as your bacteria processing your waste, because this is an oxidization process and requires oxygen. Also, when the fish consume food, they need high levels of oxygen to process that food. And and high level of oxygen will help keep their immune systems up and the general health of the fish high. The general rule of thumb that I mentioned earlier, with 100 litres for the first goldfish and 40 litres for every additional goldfish, is good for the smaller tank size. But once you get up to tanks of about 250 to 300 litres or more, then you can slightly start to bend those rules, because the fish have got much more space. And for instance, when you're looking in shop tanks or wholesaler tanks, these fish are really crammed in, and you'd say they're overstocked, but these tanks have really large filtration, and the systems are huge, thousands or tens of thousands of litres with aquariums all attached onto each other. So these tanks are in essence overstocked, but the water quality is kept high, they're fed regularly, and there's regular water changes, which is the most important part to keeping goldfish. Also, I notice a lot of criticism on people's tanks on the Facebook group, not just the Fancy Goldfish Fanatics group, but also a lot of the other groups. People are so quick to jump the gun saying, how big is your tank, before they've even looked at what the person is showing or asking. You need to remember that some of these tanks, the fish are just kept in here for the winter, and then they go out into a larger pond or a larger tank in summer. Also, you don't know how many water changes the person's doing. You don't know how much their filtration is or what their cleaning regimes are. You don't also know the type of food. Maybe they're giving a really high quality food and there's little to no waste from that to help keep the water quality in pristine condition. So always think of the other factors before you jump onto someone's post and start typing away like a little keyboard warrior. When you look at my tank, as you can see here, the tank is currently overstocked because it's got, if you're using that general rule of thumb, to 1 goldfish for the first 100 litres and then 1 goldfish for every 40 litres, then it's currently overstocked with 8 fish in 325 litres. But the fish are happy. They're getting fed 5 to 6 times a day. There's a water change being done twice a week, and there's plenty of filtration. I'm also going to be adding a couple more fish to this tank, so don't hate me, I'm overstocked, technically. But also, these fish aren't staying in here permanently. They also go outside into their summer aquarium, which is another 100 litres bigger, and they're getting natural sunlight. There's natural algae that they can graze on out there, and although that tank will be 10 fish will be around the maximum stocking density, maybe a little bit overstocked, the water quality is good and the general health of the fish is in optimum condition. So to summarise, if you want a tank with lower maintenance, then don't go for goldfish.
You serious?
But in all seriousness, if you want a tank that's lower maintenance, you want to do a water change every 2 weeks or a month, then stick to that 100 litre rule for the first and 40 litre for every additional. But if you're prepared to do 1 or 2 water changes a week and do regular maintenance on the tank, then you can bend those rules, and if you go for a slightly larger tank, you can definitely add more fish. So there's so many different factors when deciding how many fish you can put in your tank. So I hope that's helped a lot of you. As you can tell, there's no general hard and fast rule to stocking your tank. It depends on so many different factors. So I hope that's helped a bit, and always thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Next week we're actually going to be doing a new part of a new series, a DIY series, and I'm going to show you guys how I built my tank that's outdoors, because I know there's been quite a few people that have been asking me how I built that. So we're going to do a little tutorial on that, and then we're going to do some more back to basics. So once again, thank you all for watching and happy fish keeping.